will never be good at anything that you haven't put the time into developing. It's not that you're not good at camera. That is not the case. It is more on a continuum scale, which is how good on camera actually are you? I hear a lot of people say things like, I am not good on camera. I am not good at prospecting. I am not good at follow-up. And I want to explain to you why that is decimating and destroying your business and what it's doing in order to hold you back from achieving your potential. So many agents are labeling themselves and saying that they are not good at something, and that psychologically is detrimental to the growth of your business. So let's unpack this and help you better understand what you need to do going forward so that you don't continue to operate on this extraordinarily negative mindset and start to build momentum with the things that you are currently not yet good at. Okay, so diving into this, let's start with I'm not good on camera. This is something I hear constantly every single day, multiple times a day, because I do train people how to get good on camera and how to attract clients at scale, leveraging video. But let me help you understand what's happening here. So it's not that you're not good at camera. A lot of people are treating it as a binary, a yes or no. I am or I am not. I am good on camera or I'm not good on camera. That is not the case. It is more on a continuum scale, which is how good on camera actually are you? Because it's not that you are or aren't, it's how good on the scale are you? Maybe you're a 1 out of 10, maybe you're a 2 out of 10. But what happens by labeling yourself is you're giving yourself this identity that you are never going to be able to get good on it. But I started on video, and we can overlay one of my first videos here, and I was terrible. I could barely look at the camera. I was petrified of being in front of the camera. I'd never recorded a video in my life. And what I told myself instead is that currently I'm not the best at camera, but eventually I will become, and I'm pretty good on camera now. I do the majority of my videos in almost one take, and this is something that I thrive. I get excited to be on camera. But in the beginning, I was not great yet on camera. But I also followed up with saying, but one day I will be. Because in the beginning, you need to understand that you will never be good at anything that you haven't put the time into developing. You look at the formula for being good at anything, which is skill, volume, time. Well, your skill set is terrible. It's 0 right now, which is why you're labeling yourself as not good on camera, because you put no time into learning it or getting good at it, and you've put no volume into repetitions of video, so you're still not good at it, meaning your skill set, 0 time, 0 volume, makes 0 skill set, which means you're terrible at it. So that's why you're labeling yourself that you're not good at it. Well, when you look at me, for example, I've now got almost 500 videos on my YouTube channel. I've put out thousands of videos when you take into account short form, webinars, YouTube videos, promos, speaking on stage, things like that. Well, inevitably, with that much volume of repetition and that much time into learning it, the skill set is going to increase. So now I am better at being on camera. I'm now maybe an 8 out of 10, a 7 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, depends on the day. But ultimately, I started at a 1. I am now a 7, 8, or 9. Eventually, I'll continue to work on maybe, hopefully, one day being a 10. But what happens with this label of saying I am is completely ridding yourself and discrediting yourself for what you're capable of doing. It's basically you telling yourself you will never be. But that's not the case. Look at prospecting, for example. So many people say, I am not good at prospecting. Well, of course you're terrible at prospecting because you're not practicing your scripts. You've never cold called people or door knocked people or prospected people consistently for an extended period of time. So of course you're not great at it. But by labeling yourself as not great on it, what it's doing is that's a scapegoat or an excuse as to why you're not doing it. Well, the reason why you're not doing it is because anything you need to do to build a business sucks in the beginning. But the more you can get the repetitions and the more you can get the time into the activity, it develops your skill set so you get better at it. The exact same thing happens all the time with follow-up. Well, so many people say in real estate, I'm not good at follow-up. Well, of course you suck at follow-up. You don't do it. And this is not that you're not capable of doing it. It's just that you're not doing it consistently and you haven't invested enough time into it. But if you took 1 hour a day to learn your CRM, to start to look at drip campaigns, to start to follow up with people, you made it a priority in your schedule and you followed through with the commitments of living by your schedule, you would eventually become really good at follow-up. So the moral of what I want to get across here is you need to stop labeling yourself of that you're not good at something. You're not yet better at something is how you want to start to look at it, because I've seen it from personal experience. Anybody can go from being shy, petrified of being in front of the camera, to being an absolute rock star, getting excited to record videos. Anybody can go from hating prospecting and not doing it to thriving closing deals every single month. Everybody has the ability to go from not following up to making that a consistent priority in your business and living off repeat and referral clients based on proper follow-up and nurturing your database. So what happens by labeling yourself of I am not good at this, what this does is you're just discrediting yourself, discouraging yourself, using it as an invalid excuse as to why you're not doing it, and ultimately, worse, putting this label on yourself that you will never become good at it. So what you'll see with a lot of top producing agents is they run toward the things that they are not yet good at. And what this does is it allows you to start to fill in the weaknesses and plug the holes in your bucket of your business so that you start to become better. But so many people are using this as a scapegoat, which means you're just wide open admitting all the faults of your business and what will never be done in order to improve it. So what you need to do going forward is stop putting these limitations on yourself, start to give yourself more credit to the fact that, hey, you're not yet that great at this, but you can become it, because if I can do it and so many others have, you can too. So to pull this full circle, start to approach things differently going forward. Put yourself a 1 out of 10 on whatever activity that you're currently labeling yourself and say, hey, maybe I'll get to a 5 this year, maybe next year an 8, maybe eventually a 9, but start to work on these weaknesses, because I can tell you from experience that if you start to actively, intentfully work on these limitations of yourself and start to work on them to help them become strengths, your business will go to a point that you never expected before.